Hi guys, quick video on unvented cylinders. For anybody who's just starting out in the game, wants to know a bit about them, all the basic stuff. At the top you've got your hot water draw off, which feeds all your hot taps or whatever you've got on the specific system you're dealing with. Runs down there around the back of the cylinder on this particular one. This is a school, by the way, so it's a commercial building. Quite a big cylinder. I think it might be, let's have a look, 300 litres, as you can see, and this has an internal expansion. What that means is sometimes manufacturers state that you need to put an external expansion vessel sited next to the cylinder. If it doesn't state that it's internal, it's very, very important. Whenever water increases in temperature, expansion has to occur. So usually in domestic properties you'll see one sited on the side next to a cylinder. These need to be regularly serviced by somebody who is G3 qualified, may I add. You can't jump on and start dealing with these cylinders without being specifically qualified in G3, unfortunately. But yeah, just running through the basics. This isn't this is just purely for people starting out and wondering what's what on a cylinder. This is your pressure and temperature relief valve. It's usually around 7 bar, I believe. 7 bar, yep, or 90 to 95 degrees. So if your temperature goes any higher than 90 to 95, or your pressure increases beyond 7 bar, it's gonna start relieving the pressure and temperature, and it's gonna drop down here. We'll come on to that in a minute. There's your ton dish, and you'll start seeing a drip in there, which will mean you have an issue with your cylinder. This valve here is your cold feed to the cylinder. Comes along, runs up there. This pipe here runs up into the top of what we call a combination valve. This has a few purposes. It reduces the pressure for the cylinder, and it also has a pressure relief valve, built-in blow-off valve. You can also take a balance cold. Well, this is a balance cold that's leaving this part of the valve here, and this is your blow-off, which is teed into the cylinder pressure and temperature relief valve. So you can see any issues with your ton dish from this pipe and this pipe. So then you come out of your combi valve. All modern unvented cylinders, domestic and commercial, generally do have combi valves fitted on the cold feed. Comes down balance cold. This pipe here, that's your cold into your combi valve. That's your balance cold out of your combi valve. Runs along, down, drain off there, into the cylinder, feed in your hot water. This one has a high and low level immersion setup. There's your high level, there's your low level. Some of them do have primaries going to them from boilers or air source, ground source, whatever your system setup is. like I say, this one's in a commercial setting, so it's just high and low level immersion. Some of them can be on timers. And finally, this part here, this pipe here, is your secondary return. Now, you don't tend to see these in domestic setups as much. I mean, you do see them in domestic houses, you know, big sort of 5-bedroom plus houses. You might fit a secondary on the initial install, but it can be a bit of a nightmare to put them in after the system's been installed. So people generally, you know, don't have them put in because obviously, you know, costing issues and stuff like that. But this one has had one installed at a later date by us actually. So there's your 1550 return pump, bronze pump. That is now running. Don't know if you can hear it. So it's on setting 2. Generally, you go to Grundfos for your pumps. They're quite an industry standard brand. And this is creating a hot water loop. So it's running all the way down, and it will tee in a meter before each appliance, whether it be shower feed, you know, basins, bath. In this case, it's just basins feeding boys and girls toilets. I think in total there's about 24 basins it's feeding. So it's quite a big cylinder. Can't really get it in the picture actually. Let's try that. There we go. There's your hot water on the top. Like I say, pressure and temperature relief, secondary return, cold feed, high and low level immersion. That's it really, guys. Any questions, any comments, please feel free to put them in the comment section. Leave it a like. Nice one.